welcome to my channel. I'm Ghost Prime, and I know it's been a minute between videos, but I'm trying to get stuff ready for TFCon LA, and I've taken apart a lot of my collection. I got a new shelf. There's a whole bunch of things going on. I hurt my thumb really bad, as you've probably seen in my last video, but trying to get back to the swing of things. But as I mentioned, I will be going to TFCon LA. I'll have a bunch of stuff to sell, and I don't have a table. I'm kind of planning just to go to the lobby and kind of hang out and talk to some people. So if you happen to see me in the lobby, come say hi. Anyway, let's get on to this video. I'm going to take a look at the Bumblebee movie, Megatron. This is a Studio Series version, and this is the first, I don't want to say look, but this is the first real tangible figure we have gotten from the Bumblebee concept art Megatron. And I think he looks great in robot mode. It's not a perfect figure by any means, which I'll go over all that in the review. It definitely is not a perfect figure. There's a lot of things wrong with it. Some of the things I kind of realized maybe why they didn't put it in, but man, I would really love to see this one on the big screen. This has a lot of good things going for it. So anyway, please like and subscribe and all that. And without any further ado, let's get to the review. I wanted to showcase this before I opened it in the box because this is ridiculous. This, I could fit my entire hand in it, almost. Well, I mean, I can if I get in there, but like, I can feel his feet down here, all the accessories. This is a massive open space for this little tiny figure. I mean, that's ridiculous. This box could be half this size. I don't know, it just seems wasteful to me. But here he is in the box, and he looks great. I love the paintwork on him. We'll get to that when we actually take him out. See the figure there in the front. 109 Studio Series concept art Megatron. Close up his face and then his body. It like looks like some, I don't know, it's supposed to be concept art. Triple changer. He comes for a robot. 32 steps. This is 32 steps, I think, to the tank. 39 steps to the jet thing. I don't think he had a alt mode, so this is kind of a made-up thing. This looks okay on the box. We'll see how it looks in practice. And, of course, Bumblebee on the top. Let me get this guy opened up, and I'll be right back. All right, get him out of the package. Here's what he comes with. He just comes with his cannon. Now, his cannon does go on his arm here, but you can fold it up. Well, first, you got to turn this. So there's going to be a little tiny notch right there. It's kind of hard to tell. That's where this goes. So this turns. You gotta undo this. And then this turns like this and folds up like that. And you can move it like that. Turn around the back, here's 5mm ports, and you could just go ahead and hang it like that if you don't want to use it. He doesn't have to use it. I'm not sure why they did that. Megatron's always really seen with his arm cannon on, so that's kind of the way I will always display him. I just like have a arm cannon, you know. That's for transformation, and this is also for transformation. I think it's on a hinge too. Yeah, right there. And you can plug this in via 5mm port on either arm, so you could have him wielding his iconic cannon. Now, first things first, robot mode I think looks fantastic. The paintwork is really nice. The silver really pops. It has a black Decepticon logo. I mean, all in all, it's got pretty nice paintwork. This is just plastic here. So most of the paintwork shows up on the front, but I like the different color plastics they use. I think it does a pretty good job of making it interesting and looking at all his robotic bits. Really nice. There are a couple things that I'm not super a fan of, as I'll get into it more. And first things up with that I'm not really a fan of is the head sculpt. Now, it's painted nice, and he's got this nice, the bucket head helmet like he's supposed to. But what is up with that face? Like, I can see the downwards angle under the eyes, kind of reminiscent of the Generation 1 Megatron cheeks. But those lips, I don't know. They could have done better. I think this being concept, maybe they would have made it better. Because if you look at some of the other designs in the movie, they are not quite as, crumpled up can looking. But then again, they kind of wanted to tie it back to the Bayverse movies, and that's the way he looked in Bayverse. So I don't know. I'm not a big fan of that. But moving down, I mean, they got a ton of really nice detail with the rivets there on the chest. And all the little, like, you know, the parts that looks like an engine almost on his abdomen here. Shoulders are nicely painted with what looks to be, I don't know, brake rotors. I'm not really sure. These are nicely painted, just deep dark red. Again, painted. Looks good in between all the little parts, which are not painted. I think that looks pretty darn good. Moving all the way down, you got some more sculpted rivets, but these are unpainted bits. I think these are painted. The leg, thigh pieces are painted here. Like, again, just the detail on this is astounding. It's beautiful. It really is. It's really, really super nice. And actually could lend for a very, very nice custom. If one were to like wash this with like a dark wash and some silver highlights and some scratches, like, I think that, you know, it looks really good. It's very interesting to look at the sculpt work on this. It's done really nice, really well, very clean. So it is a shame that they didn't have any of these Megatrons in the movie. And getting into articulation on them, the head can look up and down. I think I could maybe look at like all the way down if you kind of break the neck there for the transformation. So that's pretty cool. You could, you know, obviously turn 360. It's on a ball peg, and it's real tight, as you can tell. The waist is turning. Waist is 360, no ab crunch, but it's super high up. If you look where his waist is versus where his legs are, I mean, that's insane. That, you know, that's like you turning us turning just under the ribs. You know, I think his waist would be down here. But I digress. Shoulders out. He has a little bit of a butterfly, which is nice to see on a main line. Of course, 360. He has his elbow is more than 90. He does have like a swivel here and a bicep swivel. So he has two different swivels on the arms. His hands are articulated with the wrist, kind of go in and out. It's kind of loose here on mine. His fingers are articulated. The thumb is not, but the fingers are. So these are connected together, where his one pointer finger is not connected to the rest, so he can do pointing. So it's nice to see that. He has a little bit of hip skirt there. Legs go out to there. Knee could bend pretty nice and far. Thigh off the top. He has good articulation in his feet, his ankles. But again, so if I want it like this looks okay, but then you get like that, and that's super far down. It's for transformation, but like, there's bits on this where you look, it would have been a fantastic, or maybe it will be a fantastic figure that doesn't transform, because the proportions are sort of odd. I think it's for transformation, considering he doesn't really transform into much. And for comparison, here he is with Studio Series Megatron. This is the one that they made that was not quite painted, which is unfortunate because it looks dull, especially compared to the really nice paintwork on this one. There he is with Studio Series Galvatron. No, this one has a lot more silver on him, more closely resembles it. Kind of makes it look like this guy has a small head. And there he is in tank mode. Yeah, I guess tank mode. Honestly, it's really not great. Let's add a little bit more. These tend to always go back in. They don't stay out very well, these little treads in the back. But it doesn't really help. They always seem to be shooting up. You can move that up and down, the turret, and you can rotate it. But yeah, I mean, it's not great. It's not even great as a tank. One shot would just destroy half of this tank. It's like a tank without the armor. I guess it could be an in-placed gun. You can move short distances instead of a tank. I mean, I don't know. It doesn't really work. It has to be what it has to be. That's part of the failure of this figure, really. It's kind of where it all falls apart is the alt modes. And you know, it's not really super big. It compacts really well. There he is with what was he, a deluxe? He was a tank in the movies, but he was also a ship, so they did both. There he is in jet mode. So yeah, it's a stretch. Looks more like a crab to me. It's not great. Doesn't hold together super well. A lot of that is because the way the gun works on the underside. It just kind of pegs in there. It doesn't really sit flat there. Where these peg in right here, never stay. See if I can get you in there. So there's a peg on the arm right there. If my phone likes to get into focus. And that's supposed to peg in that hole right there. And it never wants to stay. Like, especially this side. This side just pops right out. Every time. It doesn't stay at all. This side stays a little better. But overall, it's pretty garbage. Truthfully, it's not good. Just not good. I mean, it really isn't. Yeah. It's a pile of nothing. I kind of am disappointed with it, but I knew that going into it, so I guess I can't be too mad, right? Anyway, let's get on to some final thoughts. So in conclusion, the good. Beautifully painted. Looks amazing in robot mode. I love all the little details, the sculpted details. Really, really nice. Articulation's pretty good on it. It looks really, really good. The bad does have some weird proportion issues. I see it because I draw a lot, so I see the proportion issues. Maybe you guys will have a different perception of that, but I think it looks weird as far as proportions are concerned. The face, I'm not a super big fan of the face design. I like the helmet though, and I would have liked to see this in the movie. His alt modes are garbage. They're an afterthought, and I really wish they would have focused on one alt mode and just made it perfect. I think they could have done it maybe with the tank, or maybe the jet. I don't know. There's a jet in the movie. I know they're trying to tie the movies together. I don't think it works. Either way, though, I would have loved to have seen him on the screen. Let me know what you think of this guy in the comments, and I will see you in the next review.